There's been a lot of speculation of why I wasn't on air yesterday, and I won't get into speculation or conjecture or innuendo, but I will say this. In watching that game on Monday night, what happened to Damar Hamlin struck me a little different. Skip tweeted something, and although I disagree with the tweet, and hopefully Skip would take it down, but I didn't want it.
Well, time out. I'm not going to take it down because I stand by what I tweeted.
Skip, let me finish.
All right, okay.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
Go ahead, let's go, Jen.
Okay.
I mean, I cannot even get through a monologue without you interrupting me. I didn't want to yesterday to get into a situation where Damar Hamlin was the issue. We should have been talking about him.
Okay. I was under the impression you weren't going to bring this up because nobody here had a problem with that tweet.
No. Clearly, the bosses wanted you to offer explanations, so clearly somebody.
No, they did not have. Nobody.
Let's go, Jen.
Well, Skip said nobody at the top had a problem, but you got Shannon Sharpe saying somebody had a problem, but you got Skip saying nobody had a problem. Well, guess what? He's on the show the next day, so guess who's right? Skip Bayless is right, because the higher ups obviously did not have a problem, and Skip said he wasn't taking it down. He said he's not taking it down, and he stands by it. So in other words, he don't give a damn. I wish I could say something a little sharper than that. He don't give a damn about what happened to Hamlin on that field. He's making it very clear. And he's not being held accountable. Why isn't Bayless being held accountable for his words and his actions? Now, here is a comment he made about NBA player Stephen Curry in June of last year. Let's play this.
It seems like to us, a lot of us, not all, a lot, some of us, a large portion of us, is that black are bound by shackles. We're held more accountable for our actions and our words, where our counterparts are with cobwebs. They're easily brushed aside. Shannon, he apologized. He or she said they were sorry. Why can't we get the same benefit of the doubt? Okay. Kyrie was wrong, but I believe Kyrie was wrong, but I also can believe the punishment was excessive.
There it is. The punishment was excessive. But Skip is still skipping aloof to my darling on that show, making millions of dollars without any consequences. I agree with Shannon Sharpe that the penalties and the lack of mercy and grace is always less, like 99.9% of the time when it comes to black folks. And I'm gonna tell you something, Brett, that's just how, this is not just my feeling. We can give countless examples throughout history and right now, even to this very moment, where black folks are treated more harshly than white folks in the same or close to same situations.
Yeah, I'm sure he got really upset at the Hale Irwin fiasco of 1997. Like, no, that's a white golfer who said something racist against Tiger Woods, and I think still kept his endorsement deals. Like, there is absolutely a double standard. People can't wrap their minds around if I were to describe white privilege, it's just like you don't get to if you're white, no one's like, oh, it's your race that you're representing at that point. But for some reason, everybody else represents their entire race at any given time. There's a lot about that. But I think Kyrie Irving's an idiot the same way I think Thomas Massey's an idiot. They're both brilliant people who read a ton and come up with the dumbest conclusions, but they're never gonna equate an MIT white congressman with a black athlete. They're never gonna do that, but they're basically, in my experience learning about them, the same person. But they don't get to exist as a personality. They have to exist as the archetype and category foisted upon them by society, and that is absolutely ridiculous. And it's worse. Like Skip Bayless is never gonna be held accountable for that because people talk about him afterward, and as much as there's a PR meeting in the boardroom where the people in charge of ESPN or Fox Sports are like, well, do we have to? Do we have to not? If we don't make any sudden movements, can we get away with this and more ratings? Well, if we're not losing any sponsors, let's do it. Well, the sponsors have to step in and there has to be some kind of accountability.
No, they do. And see, because the sponsors are not stepping in, I mean, Kyrie Irving, I don't necessarily agree with you about Kyrie, but he was forced to grovel. He was forced to do that. And that same is not being asked. And for me, I believe that same is not being asked because the attack is against a black person. In my opinion, another illustration is that people can come up and bump up against black people or black individuals in some of the most vicious, vile ways, but society does not push them to apologize. Skip ain't about to lose nothing. There won't be calls for a boycott. So the way Skip is being treated compared to Kyrie, even though absolutely what Kyrie did was wrong, wrong, the way he framed that stuff, they ain't come after Amazon and none of that kind of stuff. But it's definitely a double standard because all Kyrie did was posted something that was really on Amazon. As I recall, he didn't even make a comment about it. And they were coming for his job and coming for him to bow down in public. And Skip is not being treated that same way. Nike cut their ties with Kyrie. They hit his bank account. It wasn't enough when the man came out and said, hey, I didn't need nothing by it. That wasn't enough. And you know why? See, Bayless is not gonna pay a consequence for this because he's coming up against a black man. And if he does have a consequence and the repercussions for this, I will be very surprised and I will talk about it on air. So that is it. One other thing, because I could spend all day on this story, that Skip Bayless did was against Stephen Curry, which I jumped right to the other one. But this is what the man said. He said Skip Bayless on Curry. Little light-skinned Steph. I mean, really? This is what the man did. So this is not new for him to come out in this way. And as he said in his own words, he said the higher ups, they okay with it. And obviously they are okay with it because the brother was back at work today. And I still don't see anything, no calls for him to apologize, no suspension, none of that. So we're gonna keep up with this. I might just keep talking about this every other day.